I don't know if I did this well or not, because like I feel like I did I always say mood weed. Hi everybody, my name is Kelsey and we're about to get very, very nerdy with a look back at my goals for this year. So it's now almost the end of the year. We're here to take a look back, as we do every single year, at the previous year, or I guess the beginning of this year's goals and how I did. I remember very few of these. There's a few that I remember, but not a whole lot, and I don't hold out a lot of hope, honestly. There's a lot that I don't think I did very good at. This year kind of like started out super strong and then ended with very much a not, kind of, I don't know, like I kind of burnt out in the second half of the year. But we're here to take a look back at the video that I made, the very first video of this year, to see how I did. So I have it pulled up on my phone here, so we'll just take a look back and see how I did. So as usual, my first one is going to be my Goodreads goal. So this year, instead of thinking about it and not actually setting it, I'm actually going to set this goal as 100 books. So yes, I don't know my final number yet because again, we still have a few days left in the month, but I think I'm around 150-ish. I'll do more updates next month as far as like how my reading overall went in 2022, but I'm in the 150 range, so I definitely surpassed that by a bunch. I did that the year before too. I surpassed it by a bunch. It's the first time I ever read above 100 books, so I was doing that for the first time. But now I think it's really attainable. I read so much, even though my reading has like, I feel like significantly slacked in the later half of the year, I still was able to read a bunch. So check. One good one. So the next two I'm actually going to kind of do together because they're very, very similar. And that is to read a nonfiction and a middle grade every single month. So this is one that I will give myself a passing grade, but not 100%, because I did this for almost every single month. There is, I can't remember the exact months, but there is one month where I didn't read a middle grade, and then there's one month I didn't read a nonfiction. But every month, other than those two, I read both. And even in those, I read one of the two options. So I was really good about putting at least one nonfiction and one middle grade on my TBR every single month because I liked that idea of having those things because I wouldn't have made time for them if I hadn't have like forced myself to put them on my TBR. So that one kind of worked. Again, not 100%, but I'll give myself like a pat on the back because I think I did pretty good about that. So the next one is very, very, very specific, and that is to finish the Bridgerton series, which is, yes, because of the video I did earlier this month where I was trying to do some last minute reading for my goals before I jumped into holiday reading, I did this. I read a few, I can't remember how many I had going into this year. I think I had a couple, like 2 or 3 left in the series, and I read a few in the beginning of the year, but I had one left and I finished it in December. So yes, I did it. Oh, and then I paused it before I got to the second part, which is Make a Dent in the Mallory series. Also did that. I wanted to read the first 6 books. I read the 6th book, which is part of like kind of a novella, for Christmas last year. And so I wanted to read all the books before that, and like I was looking at the series and I realized there is actually 12 books. So I finished the first half in December as well. So this is kind of like 2 goals into one, but I did both of that because of this month. I probably wouldn't have made time for it if I hadn't have thought about it, but I purposely decided this was the month that I was going to try to do some last minute things. So I did do those. Next one is kind of a continuation from last year because it is a goal I set last year that I was really happy with, so I want to continue to do it in 2022, and that is to continue to do secret TBRs and themed vlogs. I did that. I still want to continue to do that because I have so many ideas running around in my head. I have really enjoyed doing random themed vlogs, whether it's like the one I just did earlier this month where I was trying to get through a few books before the end of the year, or in November when I was trying out Dark Academia for the first time, or when I did like, I think it was this year, where I read the new ACOTAR book, Silver Flames. I did a spoilery vlog of that one, my Booktube Made Me series. I have a few other series running around in my brain that we might start in the next year, but I adore doing themed vlogs. I think they're so fun, and I really am happy with the ones that I've done. They haven't always worked out in the way that I thought they were going to, but it's made it fun for me, and I like doing, I try to do one a month if I can, at least a vlog a month, unless I'm doing like a readathon and then I don't do a themed vlog, or the themed vlog is the readathon vlog, but I've really enjoyed those, and so I hope that you guys have loved those as well. Let me know if there's any ideas for specific themed vlogs that you would like to see. I have a few, like I said, I have many more like swirling in my brain, so those will not go away because I just love doing them. So yeah, another goal. I forgot I didn't make that a goal, honestly. The next one is my specific list of 12 books that I want to read in 2022. Now, as of you guys, so I will leave a link to the video I made at the beginning of the year with those 12 books. It was 12 books that I pre-ordered the year before, and I think I've gotten through half of them. And even in that half, I DNF'd like 3 at that point, at this point. So no, I did not do so good. I was trying to do really good at the beginning of the year, but nothing on the list sounded interesting. A lot of them were YA, and while I still want to read them, I'm in this mood of like, YA doesn't really interest me right now, so I didn't want to read any of those, and I read all the other ones instead. And so honestly, about halfway through the year, I just kind of gave up, and if the book sounded interesting and I wanted to stick it on a list, I would, but I just didn't try anymore, which I think took some pressure off me. So next year we're staying the same and switching things up a little bit, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I read 6. I really read like 3 or 4 and then DNF'd a few. But yeah, that one, that was a major fail. That was the biggest fail I feel like on this list of goals, was that one. The next one is kind of just to let the mood reading happen. Because I don't know if I did this well or not. I feel like I did mood read in a sense of like, I let what I felt like I wanted to read at the time, really, I would go towards that kind of stuff, but at the same time, I would think I would be really into this idea and I would want to mood read, and or I would do like a themed TBR, and halfway through the TBR I would like not be interested in it anymore. So I think I did mood read. It was just that my mood reading went a little haywire near the end, and I kind of, every time I thought I was like, oh, I'm excited about this book, I'm going to mood read this book specifically next month, by the time I got to it, I wasn't excited for it anymore. So I don't know, I think that might have to do with my TBR game and like the punishments that I had that kind of just spiraled out of control with that one, which we are changing up the TBR game a little bit next year, so excited about that. But like I don't really know what happened, but I think I did, because like I do tend to lean towards specific things, and while I do have like summer TBRs or fall TBRs or Christmas TBRs, I still will put a bunch of books out and then mood read what I feel like at that time. So I probably need to do better at that, because I still plan more than I probably want to, but I think I did okay. I think I really did I feel like I let the mood reading happen, because, you know, like I didn't read many YA books last year or this year because I wasn't feeling it, or like I gave up on my list of 12 books to read by the end of the year because I wasn't really feeling any of the ones on that. So I don't know, like I feel like I did and I didn't at the same time. I don't know if that makes any sense. And my last goal for 2022 is to clean out my Galley Shelf, because I have LOL. I did and I didn't. I cleaned out some things, a few things that I have been meaning to read, that have come out like the year before, but then I also added things to my Galley Shelf, and now my Galley Shelf is a little ridiculous. So that's probably one that's gonna roll over into next year, honestly, because I don't think I did a very good job at this. Like, I did read a couple of books off my Galley Shelf, but that was it. Like, I put a lot of arcs on TBRs, but I didn't actually read the arcs, and that is a problem. So I need to, like, force myself not to ask for new things until I've cleaned out what's there, because then my percentage just keeps getting worse and worse, and I don't know why the publishers are giving me books when I'm not doing a very good job at reading them. So yeah, it's a struggle. I'm hoping to get better at it again next year, but I would say that was probably a fail as well. So that's a look at some of the goals that I had for this past year. I didn't do as terrible as I thought I was going to do, although, like I keep saying, the vlog that I did a few weeks ago about trying to finish some books definitely helped out with that, because I would have had way more that I wasn't good at. Or not wasn't good at, but I didn't finish. So not the best year, but I think I did probably decently. I probably got a good half of the goals done. So we'll have to take a look and see what happens next year with my goals. I want to be nicer to myself next year. So that'd be great, just because I feel like I've had a little bit of a burnout in the past month, and it's probably just because I've been reading so many, like the quantity of books has been so much that I don't think the quality has suffered, but like my reading experiences maybe have suffered a little bit. So we'll see what happens next year, but that's a look. I did decently. That's what I think we can take from this video. Is it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. It was a good middle of the road success. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this look back on this year's goals and how we did, how I did. Please let me know down below if there were any goals that you had for the year that you may or may not have done well at. How was your reading for the year? We're getting close to the end. We have one more video left before the end of the year. It's crazy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you for coming on yet another year-long adventure with me, and we'll do it again next year with new goals and new ideas. So hopefully I'll be better next year than I was this year. Although I think I would do better than the year before. I feel like the year before was like really bad with my goals, but yeah. But if you like this video, and I very much hope that you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below if you'd like to be part of this awesome growing family. I've also got all my social media down there, as well as other fun bookish links, so don't forget to check all that out, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.